Game Kings, The Definition of Game documentary coming soon. Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. What's good? So remember, guys, the Bad Boy membership flash sale is still on up until February 9th. When you join the Bad Boy membership, you're going to get a program called 10 Ways to Upgrade Your Life Right Now by me and Miles Cunningham. All you got to do is click the link below or go straight to badboymembership.com and join the Bad Boy membership and get this program. And remember, this program is only available through the sale. So after the 9th, you can't get this program, all right? So now, this video right here is a video that is probably one of the most important videos that I've ever done, right? And I feel like I should have done this a long time ago. But it's something that you guys need to understand and be aware of and just implement this in your game. And that is that when you're dealing with women, you have to be aware of the type of women you're dealing with. You have to be careful about dealing with certain women, right? You gotta see certain red flags. You gotta, go with your gut. You understand? Now, what happens is that you're gonna have women who are gonna be women who are paranoid, women who make up stories in their own mind, like it's one thing happening, but she sees it another way. You're going to have women who are extremely insecure that you're going to try to have sex with, and it's just not going to go the way you expect it to go. And when you're dealing with these type of women, a lot of things could go wrong, in your situation. You have guys who are talk about like false rape accusations and chicks lying on them and doing this and doing that, and there are chicks out there that's going to be that way. Now the thing is, I don't want you to be paranoid yourself hearing this type of stuff, but I do want you to be aware that this type of shit happens, because you might be dealing with a woman who's on that type of shit, who is paranoid, who is the type of chick who basically will make up a certain story because that's how she saw it. You feel what I'm saying? Even though what she's saying isn't actually what's going down. Now, let me give you an example. So, I met this woman at this event, right? And I'm talking to her. And so she tells me that, she's waiting for someone to come pick her up at the event, right? To come get her, to bring her home. And so I'm curious, and I'm like, okay, so I was like, what, you don't like to take the trains or nothing? Like, what's good with you? You understand? Like, who's picking you up, right? And so basically she told me that the last time she was at this, at a similar event, she met this guy, and they were talking, and they were going back and forth, and, she found out that they sort of live in the same neighborhood, and they got a lot of things in common, or whatever it is. Right now, I want you to take note of the fact that she said that they live in the same neighborhood, right? So anyway, she's telling me that, she's talking to this guy, and then she says she notices that he left the spot, right? And then she said she walked out maybe like 5 minutes after he left to go home. So she says once she goes outside, she sees him out the corner of her eye, on the other side of the block, or just like near her. And she's like, oh shit, like this guy is just standing right there or chilling right there, right? So then she says, she thinks nothing of it at that point, and then she says she walks to the train station, and then she says that she notices he's walking behind her to the train station also. And so she says then she goes on the platform waiting for the train, and she realizes that he's on that same platform waiting for the train. So now she's saying all this because she's thinking, damn, this guy's stalking me, he's following me, right? So then she says the train comes and they get in the same car, and then he walks past her, but he smiles at her and he sits down on the other side, but he doesn't say anything to her, right? So now she says, I get off at my stop, and then he gets off on the same stop. And so she's like nervous and scared, and she like I guess, runs home because she thinks this guy's stalking her. Now remember, she talked to this guy and he said he lives in the same fucking neighborhood as her. But in her mind, this motherfucker is stalking her. You understand what I'm saying? So of course he's going to be walking in the same direction, getting on the same train, and getting off the same stop because he lives in the same fucking neighborhood. But in her mind, she's thinking this guy is, trying to get her. So now that she's at this event that I'm talking to her, she's waiting for someone to pick her up because she's paranoid and she's scared to go on the train now because of some made up shit in her head. You feel what I'm saying? And so what I'm saying to you guys is you're going to have chicks who are out here that you're dealing with, who you might be interacting with them, and they'll make up some story in their head about some shit you did to them. You understand? You got to be careful out here. See, this is why I tell guys to actually go on dates. Like, at least go on a first date. Feel the chick out. It don't even need to be anything you pay for. Take this chick, to the park and walk around and talk to her. Have a conversation with her, right? Because you have other women who, like this chick, she's on some paranoid shit, but you have other women out here who are on some other shit. Like, they could be on some stalker shit. Like, I had a situation where I went out with this one chick, and I think I talked about this chick before, but I'll mention it again. Went out with this one chick, bad joint, okay? I would say she looked like if J-Lo and Nicki Minaj was one person. You know what I'm saying? Like, banging. You understand? So I go in, I'm out with this chick, and we getting drinks or whatever, right? And so she meets up with me, and I met her off of Tinder or whatever. She meets up with me, and we're sitting there drinking or whatever, and then she says she sees the ring on my finger, but I guess she didn't read my profile because she didn't realize I was married and in an open relationship. So she says, "Oh shit, wait a second, are you married?" I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "I'm in an open relationship." And she's like, "Oh, I didn't even realize that. That's crazy," whatever, right? So then she says to me, "Well, listen, since you married, ain't nothing serious to go on between us, but, I'm kind of feeling you, so we could still hook up." So I'm like, cool. That's all good. So I'm thinking, okay, this what's up. I'm about to smash, right? But as we're talking, she starts telling me, certain things, and I start asking her questions, because this is the thing. I always ask chicks a lot of different questions when I'm talking to them and dealing with them, because I'm trying to feel them out. I'm trying to see what type of chick this is. So I'm asking her questions about, her dating life. I'm like, so, what type of guys do you usually go out with? And, are you messing with anybody right now? Or whatever, right? So she told me she's dealing with this other dude, and she's been seeing for about a month and a half or whatever. And she basically said that they hooked up or whatever, and she was like, she hasn't heard from him in like 2 weeks. And then so she says that she ended up going to his job to confront him, and she said that she went up to the office where he was at. He was in a meeting, and she actually went into the meeting to talk to this dude, right? And so she's telling me, oh, he came out the meeting and he was all upset about it, and I was just like, yo, how come you haven't called me? And so she's saying it, but she's saying it in a way where she thinks it's funny, like she's laughing as she's saying this shit, and I think she's thinking I find it amusing, right? And I'm just sitting there like, oh my god, this chick is fucking crazy. So next thing you know, she says, she's like, I think I'm gonna go and talk to him after, tomorrow, and just drop by. And I said, wait a second, so does he know you're coming over tomorrow? She's like, well, no, I'm just gonna surprise him. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. So I'm like, okay, this dude, he's fucking up, because this chick knows where he works and lives, and she's fucking stalking this motherfucker. So now that I heard the stalking, right, I'm like, I am not fucking this chick. And this chick, mind you, she's bad. I'm like, I'm good, right? So I basically end the date, maybe 10 minutes after that. And I said, listen, I got to head up out of here. And so she hits me up, maybe I think like 2 or 3 days later, trying to see me. But I'm just like, nah, this ain't working. I ain't trying to do that. Right? Because she showed me that she was on some stalker shit. You see what I'm saying? What I'm trying to get you guys to understand in this situation, or these situations, is you really need to be careful about the type of women you're dealing with, right? Because see, I'm all for, let's say you match with a girl on the site and you try to get her to come to your crib and smash and all that. That's all good. But see, you got to be at a certain level of game to really be able to feel that chick out and to sort of get a good feel for the type of woman you're dealing with. You understand what I'm saying? But this is why I advise guys to actually go on dates. So even if you don't want to spend no money, fucking take that chick to a museum, walk around a park, whatever the fuck it is, but get her outside so she don't know where the fuck you live. She don't know where you work. You understand? She don't know shit. And she don't know shit, and you don't tell her shit until you feel this woman out. See, and this is the thing that you should be doing on the dates and the times you're dealing with the chick, is that you need to be asking her a lot of fucking questions. And you should ask her questions about her dating situations, her past dating situations. You can even ask her what's her relationship with her parents, her father. You got to ask this girl questions so you can get a feel for the type of woman this woman is. You got to get a feel for her character. You understand what I'm saying? So let's say if you talking to a girl and you ask her about her past relationships, and a lot of women do this where they will sort of shit on their exes. You understand me? Like, oh, he was an asshole, this and this and that. Now, what you're looking out for is if you're talking to a chick and she's just shitting on her ex or shitting on her exes, and men are trash and everything was the man's fault, that's not cool, right? If she doesn't say anything that pertains to her maybe fucking up, right, then that's a red flag. And a lot of times some women, they won't even want to admit that, but you have to question her. You have to say, so you trying to tell me in there was nothing you did in this relationship that made it not work. You understand? Or was there anything you could have done better? Right? And if she's like, no, I was just, I was like really good to him. Bullshit. That's a red flag. You understand what I'm saying? That's the type of chick you need to not really fuck with or not take seriously, because she doesn't hold accountability for anything. It's just everybody else's fault. Right? You got to ask her questions. You have to, and also another thing too is this, and this is what a lot of dudes ignore, is that you got to really go with your gut. You understand? You got to go with your gut. Meaning that there are times where you're dealing with a girl, you're interacting with a girl, and you just get a feeling that shit ain't right. Like something seems off. What happens is a lot of times we ignore our gut because we're like, oh, the chick is hot, she's bad, I'm trying to make shit happen. But you have to really pay attention to that gut feeling. You understand? Because some of these things, that I'm saying can't really be explained in words, but you can feel it. And so sometimes you're dealing with a girl and you can feel that this chick is going to be on some bullshit. You can feel that this chick is going to bring drama to your life. You can feel that it ain't, something ain't too right with this chick. You understand? And so you got to go with that gut feeling. And if it don't feel right, you got to keep that shit pushing. You got to be very careful about the type of women that you bring into your situation. You understand? Because if you're dealing with some paranoid ass chick who wants to, because imagine like that first story I'm talking about, the woman talking about thinking this guy's stalking her, right? So let's say she reports this dude to somebody, or she says something to somebody about him, and he's just like, I was just going home. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? But she thinks this. Now, this isn't something that he could have controlled, but I'm just saying that imagine that this particular woman is a woman you tried to holler at. You tried to get with. You tried to make something happen, and she's this paranoid. Right? But you don't know that she's this paranoid because you don't ask no questions. You don't really, investigate the situation. You don't follow your gut feeling. You see what I'm saying? So all I'm saying, guys, is I don't want you to get paranoid. I don't want you to be like, oh, this is why I go MGTOW and all that other stupid shit. I just want you to be aware. You understand? Be very aware of the women that you're dealing with. Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. What's good? So I'm having a bad boy membership flash sale from February 3rd to February 9th. So when you join the bad boy membership from February 3rd to February 9th, you're going to get a program called 10 Ways to Upgrade Your Life right now. So it's me and Miles Cunningham dropping heavy game. Okay, so listen, if you're not getting what you want in life, you gotta upgrade, okay? If you're not getting the chicks you want, you gotta upgrade. If you're not making the money you want, you gotta upgrade. You understand what I'm saying? So guys, listen, if you want this program, you gotta join from February 3rd to February 9th because it's only going to be available at that time. After February 9th, you cannot get this program. So make sure you click the link below or go straight to badboymembership.com to join the membership today so you can take advantage of all the programs on the Bad Boy membership, plus get this free program today. All right, so click that link below and I'll holler at y'all later. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm gone.